So, since my dear buddies decided to skip town on me, I had no choice but to call in the crew. So, the first step of getting this tank into the house was actually to take off my door, which was pretty easy enough. And the next step was to clear out the driveway so that we can get this tank out of this truck. Now, it might look like a pretty big truck for a pretty big tank, but at the same time, this truck was way overkill. But it definitely gave the guys enough space that they needed to actually move the tank out of the truck and also do an unboxing and keep it protected. So as you can see, one of the most difficult portions of this actual move was to get the tank out of the truck and in one piece. And for this, we used a ramp, and the guys were able to wheel it out while it was strapped down to a non-skid cart and slowly move it down the ramp and onto my driveway. So really the problem here was fighting gravity. The tank is extremely heavy, probably in the neighborhood of 400 or 500 pounds. And we have two guys that are probably about 250 between the two of them trying to hold on to it as we went down. But fortunately, it went down without a problem and we were able to get it up and onto the curb in front of the house. The next step was to rotate it around in the driveway and get it through the front door. Now, in order to do this, we had a ramp that was brought by Nemo's Reef in order to us to get it to roll up, but it still took a little bit of manpower. In total, this was actually going to be the easy part. Getting it into the house wasn't so difficult. The next part that you guys are going to see is getting it onto the stand itself. So with the tank in the house, the next step was to go ahead and rotate it, try to get it to line up in front of the stand to the best of our ability, and unstrap it from the cart. Now, this portion of the actual move required a little bit of finesse because we have this giant tank and we need to slide it onto that green foam pad without shifting everything around all over the place. So in order to get this done, what we ended up having to do was Kevin went up there and started screwing the foam pad down into the actual wood beneath it, and later on this would really come in handy because once the weight of that tank landed on top of the foam, it became very hard to lift the tank again and shift it around while it was on top. So since the tank was actually down on ground level, we decided this was a great opportunity to go ahead and install the overflow. And to do this, Kevin basically hopped up on top of the tank, lined up the holes for the Synergy Overflow, and went ahead and installed it. This actual install was pretty easy because the Synergy Overflow was perfectly cut by AGE in order to get it installed. Now, with the Overflow installed, we began the process of jacking the tank up. And guys, this is why you call in professionals. I would have never known any place or anywhere that I could even rent one of these jacks that pretty much made the lift non-existent. At first we were going to use suction cups, but seeing as how the stand was just the right height in order for the jack to clear it, we went ahead and just jacked up the stand. This is actually coming now to the final push where we're going to push the tank off of the stand, kind of tilt it a little bit in order to get it right onto the foam pad. And there was Kevin S. making sure that it fit just like a glove. It was really easy to get back onto that pad. So with the tank on the pad, now became the arduous effort of making sure everything is lined up. Now you remember before we went ahead and we screwed down the foam pad. That's great, But now we need to make sure that all the edges line up, because even though the foam pad is screwed down to the 3/4 inch ply, the 3/4 inch ply is not screwed to the stand frame. It doesn't need to be, because it's just supporting the bottom of the tank. It's not going to slide once it's full. So basically at this point we went ahead and just kind of manhandled the tank into place. So here we have Kevin taking his time and cutting out the area that's directly beneath the overflow. And we're doing this because when I cut the wood for the top of the tank stand, I went ahead and gave it a lip. I gave it this lip to give us enough play in order for us to be able to slide the tank on and make any final adjustments. So with that done, we cut out the little piece that was needed in order for the overflow to come straight down with the pipes, and all that was left was to inspect the tank. So inspecting the tank was actually more for me than anyone else. The guys have already inspected the tank, and I have to say, when I do the tank review, you guys are going to see some amazing things come out of AGE. So all in all, the delivery went extremely well. I am so thankful that I went ahead and got Nemo's Reef to come out here, give me a hand, and make sure that this was done right, and done right the first time. I look forward, guys, to showing you the next stage in this build. I'm going to do a quick overview of the tank, some of the features that I got for the tank, and definitely some of the new stuff that's coming out of AGE. I want to thank you guys for taking a look at this video today. Please like and subscribe. Even you haters, you like and subscribe too, right? So thank you guys for watching this video. I will see you on the flip side.